annoying as it is that I have to do this, I gotta clear the air about my last video before we get into this one. In my last upload, where we talked about the Sonic movie cinematic universe, I was accused of spoiling the second Sonic movie for a handful of commenters. Except, there's a couple things wrong with that accusation. First of all, there's a little thing called pinned comments and descriptions. They tend to contain vital information about the video that you're about to watch. In the case of the last video, apart from Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, any renders seen in the thumbnail of that video are unofficial, which means they did not come from Paramount. So, nothing spoilery there. And secondly, if we go to the About section of my YouTube account, you can clearly see that my location has been set to the United States. And would you like to remind me when exactly the second Sonic movie dropped in the US? Oh, that's right, April 8th. A bit of information that's been known since Paramount's very first trailer. So if I wanted to spoil the movie for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do that. Not unless someone sent me clips of the movie so I could share them in my videos. And as far as I can tell, neither of those things have happened. So yeah, my last video is indeed spoiler free. If your logic is based solely on the idea of unofficial renders being in the thumbnail as the basis for you being spoiled, then I'm sorry, but it doesn't hold up, so you can give it a rest now. Then again, why am I surprised? This is the internet, you have to expect these things. But anyway, you guys didn't come over here to listen to me vent, or maybe you did. Depends on what kind of content you're into, really. What you came here for is Sonic related news, and you'll sort of find that here. It's more so speculation than it is news, but it does include actual events that happened. And when I put these together, I got a pretty good feeling as to when Sonic's next showing will be. So, let's get right down to it. Over a week ago, I put out a couple of videos talking about the SEGA TV show in Taipei because Sonic Frontiers was confirmed to be featured there. And it was. So we were hopeful that we finally get an update on the game after 3 months of silence. The SEGA TV show was set up to be a marketing campaign for the Asian audience, which makes sense because it's not just the American audience that SEGA has to pay attention to. They have more than one crowd. But when Frontiers popped up at the event, all they did was repeat the exact same trailer they dropped back during December. A trailer that I'm pretty sure the Asian audience is familiar with. And they added nothing else, not even a slight edit to the trailer. So, I don't know about you guys, but simply repeating a 3-month-old trailer doesn't strike me as an effective marketing strategy. But I already started this video off with a rant, and I'm not gonna do an encore. If you want to know my full thoughts on how the SEGA TV show was executed, just check this video out. So after that, we turned our eyes to E3, the next big upcoming event for the gaming industry, and also one of the biggest, one of the most historical. It's grown with every year, and it was set to continue that streak this year, except for one little problem. E3 has been cancelled. Be it digital or physical, it isn't happening. When you go to E3's Twitter page, or its parent company, ESA, you will find a post from them confirming the event's cancellation, but they did confirm it with news outlets covering the subject, IGN included. They've also announced it will return in 2023 with a reinvigorated showcase. So, anybody hoping for Frontier-related news from E3 is out of luck. But that said, don't pack up just yet because there's another opportunity where Frontiers could show its face, or perhaps even Sonic Origins. Because the Summer Game Fest, an event that I'm pretty sure you guys will recall clearly, is making a return this year. Just like last year, the Summer Game Fest will happen this June, though they didn't say exactly when in June, and they'll announce more details later, including any developers and publishers participating alongside them as event partners. So no, SEGA isn't confirmed with the Summer Game Fest yet, but they were featured there last year, so they could very well make a comeback. You might recognize the Summer Game Fest because it's where we got our preview of one of the greatest things to happen not only to the Sonic community, but to humanity. The Sonic 30th Anniversary Symphony. And yes, I still go back and watch that in my spare time. It's way too good not to. In fact, since it was first posted, the Sonic 30th Anniversary Symphony has reached 3.5 million views on YouTube. And I believe it got a Spotify release in response to all the positive reception for it. That is beautiful. The only gripe I had about the event was that when they released their 2021 hype reel or trailer, whichever you want to call it, they used a clip of Sonic Colors Ultimate to advertise the Sonic portion of the event, and mind you, Colors Ultimate had yet to release at the time. To use a clip of that game to describe a symphony is, needless to say, very confusing when it would have made more sense to use a clip of the symphony itself. So, if anybody running the Summer Game Fest happens to be watching this video, I have one minor request. If Sonic comes back to the event and you advertise him again, could you please be a little more accurate with what you're advertising? Please and thank you. I love you guys. Not that it's that big a deal. I genuinely had a blast when they previewed the Symphony to us, and even more so when it happened in full. Speaking of the Symphony preview, it sparked speculation that SEGA was actually considering an Ultimate remaster for Sonic Unleashed, similar to what was done with Sonic Colors Ultimate, though it hasn't materialized yet. Why do we think this can happen? Well, here's why. When the Symphony was previewed, they used a clip of a Sonic Unleashed medley. Now, when I first saw this, I figured it was because when they first made the soundtrack for Unleashed, it was also orchestrated, so it made sense as a selection. But it isn't the first time that an orchestra was held in honor of Sonic's anniversary. There was another orchestra that happened during the 25th, although I don't know if Unleashed got a medley for that or not. So having said that, they could have easily chosen another medley for the preview of the Symphony, but they chose Sonic Unleashed for some reason. I should tell you guys that SEGA keeps a close eye on fan feedback for the product, including for Sonic. They know how much the positive reception for Sonic Unleashed has grown recently. So much so, that it had to have inspired Xbox to release a patch that makes it so Unleashed runs at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second. If you haven't tried it yet, you're missing out. Frankly, it should have had a positive reception since its release, but oh well, what's done is done. And because of that, I have faith that they'll definitely consider an Unleashed Ultimate remaster somewhere down the line. But if so, it won't happen for a while, because right now Frontiers and Origins are next on their list. I know I already advertised a video earlier, but heck with it, I'll do it again. Since I'm talking about Unleashed Ultimate, I'll point you towards this video if you want to join me on the speculation train. Check it out. Part of me thinks SEGA might be waiting until this June to talk more at length about Sonic Frontiers or Origins, which would make sense because Sonic's 31st anniversary is this June, as if 30 years wasn't already impressive enough. But it's also concerning, because then that would leave them with roughly 5 to 6 months to come up with an effective marketing strategy for both Frontiers and Origins before they release. In the case of Frontiers, they're targeting a holiday 2022 release window. As for Origins, no exact release date was dropped yet. Part of why I've been so frustrated recently is that I was hoping they could have put this strategy into play before the second movie dropped, as I see the movies as a huge gateway to a potential influx of new Sonic fans. Something that definitely happened with the first movie. So those could have been opportunities to introduce those fans to the heart and soul of the Sonic series, the games. After all, without the games, would we have the movies, the comics, the books, the merchandise, and so on? No, honestly we wouldn't. After all, everything has its origin, and in the case of Sonic, it's the games. It's not to say they're the only important aspect of the franchise because they aren't, but once again, everything has an origin point, and that's why I'm really hoping that SEGA keeps that in mind. However, with the unsteady release of Sonic Colors Ultimate, I fear sending a terrible message about the core of the series, so hopefully this is not a trend that will continue with the next games. But as with all things, we'll just have to see. To recap, E3 is not happening this year, but the Summer Game Fest is, and SEGA has previously participated there, so they could make a return. How likely do you think that is to happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And with that, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My videos have been doing crazy well recently, and I owe that to you guys for being as awesome as you are. It means the world to me. Seriously, thank you. Let's keep this momentum going. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you left those likes and comments down below, and consider subbing and ringing that bell to stay up to date on my content. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, peace! Blue Blurs for life. Take care.